Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW, Positive Talk Radio. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. I'm enjoying all of the beauty of spring. The cherry blossoms are just beautiful. And I'm going to bring on my local guest, Mr. Eddie Wright, is going to give an update. And then we'll have a guest on from New York City with Mothers Harlem Saves. Just really excited about that. All right, Mr. Wright.
How you doing, Reverend Harriet?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. After last week, seeing that obnoxious hearing on Supreme Court Justice nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson, I just have to say she showed a lot more than the people who are sending her questions. And she was just so composed. And she is the highest ranked Supreme Court nominee in years. She was the second highest, I think, in the last 20 or 30 years. And her judicial record is just impeccable. And it had more to do with the fact that the Republicans wanted something, because they had voted for her before. But the midterms are coming up, so they're trying to feed this meat to their base. But I just don't think that this with what's happening with January 6th. Now we see Judge Clarence Thomas, although Dr. Arthur Fletcher referred to him as Clarence Tom S. But anyway,
now we know, because the late Mr. Art Fletcher might have known something that we didn't know all along. See, he might have known.
When he started dismantling affirmative action, that's when Dr. Fletcher changed his name. But this thing about his wife being directly involved in an attempt to overthrow the United States government. Can you imagine that if she was a Black woman, what would be happening right now?
Well, they would ask him to resign.
And he should step down right now, because
they would find some reason to impeach him off it's only been a few Supreme Court justices impeached in history, but he would be one.
Yeah, there's only been one Clarence Thomas too. But I mean, a person that got everything, that all of his achievements were based on affirmative action. His college, his job with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, where he sexually harassed Anita Hill, his judgeship, and then to replace it. Say he never in the world could replace Thurgood Marshall. But I really think that
the President Bush did not intend for him to his appointee to replace Thurgood Marshall in stature, education, love, or commitment to the African American community. He did not. He was not there for that. He was just there as somebody that was African American. That was all.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, Dr. Fletcher thought, well, since this guy got everything he got through affirmative action, and then let's deal with Anita Hill, that came up, and it was swept over. And at the present time, President Joe Biden was president of the Senate when all the stuff went down. So, but there are a couple of other things that's going on too, because I know I don't have much time, because I know you got a very exciting guest coming on, and I want to talk about Will Smith and.
Well, you know what? I'm going to let you talk about it as from a man point of view. I mean, I want to hear from somebody who's been married longer than we've been on the air.
Yeah, well, I just think that there should be some boundaries. And Chris Rock overstepped that boundary.
That's right. Okay, I agree.
So I really want to talk about next Monday is the 54th anniversary of the assassination of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And
that's right. It is. It's April 4th. Yes, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
I know that the final 4 basketball games are going to be on, but we're going to be down at Holgate Street Church of Christ.
Okay.
With Minister Jimmy Hurd, who's opened up the doors to the church to commemorate and also recognize some of the pioneers, and also give people some awards for the good work they've been doing in the community. And so this will be from 5:30 to 7. And Holgate Street at Church of Christ is 2 blocks north of the Martin Luther King Memorial Park. So we're going to recognize Dr. Brent Jones, the superintendent of Seattle Public Schools, even though you had one school board member trying to do everything she could to derail him, but it didn't work. And then there are quite a few other folks that will be recognized as well.
Is she a white liberal? That school board, you know how the liberals are.
Well, I don't know. If Leslie Harris brought Denise Juneau here, who got rid of all of the Black males in leadership positions and would not promote or even interview other Black males for certain positions, like the African American male program they have. People like the Breland out of the principal of Cleveland, or Robert Gary Jr.
Well, we've had them all.
Howard, none of those folks were interviewed for that job.
Yeah. But Goodlow Johnson did the same thing. We've had a history of all of these women, all these superintendents coming there to do that. Well, I'm glad you're going to recognize him, because I was glad that he got the appointment. Yeah,
because Leslie Harris, that's the school board member I'm talking about, she's voted against everything Black since she's been there. Even on all the settlements, when they know that Juneau was wrong, had discriminated against these brothers. And then there was one, the principal of Leschi. There's one lady, and I don't want people to get it confused. The Black males I'm referring to were not in schools; they were in leadership positions, and they all left for better positions. And you have these programs designated for African American males, and rather than give George Breland the job, they put him on the interview committee to circumvent his possibility of heading up a program specifically designed to help uplift young Black males, which is really unfortunate. And I have a lot of faith in Brent Jones, and also some of the school board members are coming along, but there still seems to be some other issues with the Native American education programs. I've been working with Sarah Sense Wilson with the Urban Native Education Alliance, and the past superintendent put them out of buildings. It's just ridiculous the way they were treated.
Well, yeah, you're right about that, and I'm glad he's going to be recognized, because it really and truly, we have to continue to understand that everybody who say they like us don't like us, because it's how they vote. Because even when they first moved to Seattle, I thought Seattle was a liberal place, and then you realize that most of the kids being arrested, going to jail, are Black kids, so they have this facade, make you think that it's liberal here and people like us, but at the end of the day, they vote against us, so we know they don't like us.
We had urban renewal, which I call Black removal, that started in the 50s and early 60s. Then we dropped the first report on redlining, which that was in December of 73. And everything that was mentioned almost 50 years ago has come to fruition. It's going to be the high rises on 23rd and Jackson and Madison and Union, and also to complete displacement of African Americans in the central area. A lot of that has to also be attributed to the fact that there was no affirmative action in this state for 23 years. Now, when you say no affirmative action, that gives some people an idea. The first thing they think about is an employee at the county 23 years ago told a Black architect, we don't have to do business with Black folks anymore. And that was a mentality. And then we also had, I think, weak-kneed and weak spineless elected officials and department heads that allowed this to happen and wouldn't say anything about it. And
but we have to go back to the mayor. We have to go back to 1990 and call it what it was. The mayor who brought in Weed and Seed was Norm Rice, okay? And we tried to organize the community. Weed and Seed was the beginning of the vanguard of agendifying. But also, I don't think Black people really understood the history, that this was their place. It was ours. William Gross bought this land all those years ago, and it was our right to stay here. But when they brought in Wheat and Seed and they were weeding us out and seeding in other people, I don't think people understood it. And we have to say, and then what the governor said, with you all down there, 1918 House bill that says the city of Seattle and the Olympia colluded to run us out of here. Yeah.
Well, we were able to thanks to the Representative Sharon Tomiko Santos, she was able to pass legislation. She was the sole sponsor of House Bill 1918 in 2019 that created the Central District Community Preservation and Development Authority, which is the old SOIC building, which was brought here by Reverend McKinney. And so because of that, it is now the McKinney Center for Community and Economic Development. And the CPCDA board will be a recipient of an award on next Monday as well. Representative Santos will be there to present the award to them. It was her legislation, so we thought it was only fitting that she be the presenter to the board of that award.
All right. Well, some good things happened this past weekend. Donita St. Clair, her son got killed in the chop last summer, Alonzo. She had a gathering for mothers. It was called "We Got Us Mothers, We Got Us Moms," and I wasn't there, but Converge Media Media covered it, and it was a great event. And so there's some movement here for mothers, absolutely working on stopping violence in our community and coming together. It was a great event, and also the Mind is a Terrible Thing to Waste had their 2022 gala, United Negro College Fund. They raised almost $1.2 million. Everybody to somebody was there. They gave our mayor an award, and Wagner, the football player, he says he loved this town, and all the work that things he's done about helping families, not only here, but yeah, he was a great guy. Gave Microsoft an award, but to see all those people out there, David Dell, everybody that was there. Judge Richard Jones. I mean, everybody was there. So it was a great event, and we had to bring people was on the dance floor dancing like they were 17. You ought to see some of those people almost our age out there dancing like they were 17. So
I'm sorry I missed it. I haven't checked with Linda Thompson Black to see if they have any video cuts, and then also we will be sending a check because we firmly believe. My dad was the youngest in his family, and he was appointed to be the Northwest organizer for the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. And his three older brothers were also Pullman porters. All of them sent their kids to Southern University, and they came back to Shreveport and became teachers and administrators in the colored side of the Shreveport public school system. As a matter of fact, Norwood Brooks's wife, Violet, and my first cousin, Judy, were roommates at Southern.
All right. Well, my kids
in the early 50s.
My kids went down to Elizabeth City State down in North Carolina. I think it's imperative if you live in the Pacific Northwest to send your kids down south so they can understand what it is to see Black people in leadership running things. I mean, and Black bands and football players and all of these things. And you get to see the excellence and you get to see all of it. So I think almost an imperative, but they might not come back to Seattle now. That's the risk you take.
might be right. But
that's the risk you take.
My daughter Angela took her cousin's sons on 2 different tours of Black colleges, and including North Carolina A&T, Dillard, Howard, Florida A&M, Texas Southern, and Grambling. So they got a chance to see it firsthand. And you know what? All 3 of them said they're going to a Black college. They haven't made up their mind. But they're applying right now and taking all the necessary exams required, but they're going to be on their way to a Black college.
I don't blame them. And after COVID and after 45 in the White House, the enrollment on Black colleges have escalated. It's skyrocketing, and this is good. So anyway, I just enjoy you coming on my show, and we'll be together next Monday, probably here to talk about it, and I'll be there next Monday night also, if God allows. So yes, thank you so much, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Market Street Shoes is happy to sponsor the Mother's Justice Show in honor of our mother, Jackie Higgins Rosebrook, who spent her life fighting for social justice, and also in honor of all mothers who fight for social justice. Market Street Shoes, fashionable footwear and apparel for life's everyday adventures, in the heart of Ballard since 2006. Visit marketstreetshoes.com.
Hi, this is Dr. K. Mahina Intron, inviting you to tune in on Mondays on 1150 KKNW at 5 p.m. to Dr. K's Attuning to Your Abundance, where we honor everyday abundance through positive messages, poetry, music, affirmations, and writing exercises. For more information, contact Dr. K Workshops at gmail.com or Facebook, Dr. K's Abundance.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
Good afternoon. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on there. I am so excited today. I'm just full of excitement. We haven't talked to New York in a long time, and we've never ever spoken to Harlem Mothers Saved, but we are today, and we got Miss Jackie here with us, and I think she's going to have some other people on it, other mothers on. How you doing, Miss Jackie?
Miss Jackie is doing quite well. To God be the glory.
It is such a pleasure to meet you. And so, yes, just go right ahead. I want you to just tell our audience who you are, and you know, people in New York, right there, can listen live online at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. It is a live show on it's streamed live on the internet. So anyway, for the people who might not get on, but wanted to hear you, and I'll also send you a copy of the show. So hey, just just welcome, and want to know more about you. I've gone to your website more than once, and I'm so excited. Not because I'm excited, because mothers are stepping up, and we got some mothers here stepping up also. And we all stepping up because something has happened to our family and our family members, and we had that void. So just go right ahead and just tell us about yourself and about your organization. Mm-hmm.
Well, first let me say thank you. Thank you for being in the fight and the struggle, because
yes,
we are the ones who have to be the voice for the voiceless.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And we can't be that if our voices are not heard.
That's right.
And so I thank you for even reaching out to me. I was saying, oh, okay. And I know you say you reached out several times. So let me start by saying, I'm not, because I could talk all day, but I know we don't have all day. And I want you to hear from my other moms. I'm Jackie Rowe Adams, co-founder of Harlem Mothers Save, Stop Another Violent End. But when we started our group in 2006, we were sick and tired of hearing all this gun violence. And it was 5 mothers that walked into our assemblyman at the time, Keith Wright office, saying, help, help. We are so sick and tired of losing our families. This is 2006. And we don't know what to do, how to do it, but we got to stop this gun violence. So we called it, Who is Giving Our Kids These Guns? And that's how we started. Who is giving our kids these guns? We stood on the steps of City Hall, along with Assemblyman Keith Wright. He took us to City Hall, stood on the steps, called a question, who giving our kids all these guns? With standing on the steps of City Hall, at the time, the 100 Black law enforcement stood with us. And at that time, Eric Adams was the captain of that organization. And now, when he stand on the steps of City Hall, he is now the mayor. So we.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Eric Adams is now the mayor of New York City, and he stood with Harlem Mothers Save, which they named us, 2006. Okay, so we did so much, and it was so many murders and killings. To now we are called Harlem Mothers and Fathers Save. We have so many fathers that have joined us, because a lot of times people don't realize that the fathers care too. We are not just the ones who cry. The fathers now are speaking up. The fathers take care of a lot of these kids and watch their growth. So as they say, it's broken families. The fathers have stepped up. But let me tell you, when we stood on the steps of City Hall and called the question, we found out that 2 bodegas in Harlem were selling our kids these guns.
Wow.
We found out that, now I don't want to be wrong, but I have to check the status. We found out a watermelon truck and collard green truck, good watermelon, good collard greens. It might have came from your hometown. Where are you from?
I'm from Sanford, Florida originally. That's where I was raised at.
It came from down south. It was from down south. They were bringing them from down south and selling guns, bringing guns up to Harlem. That's how we got. That's how we got started. And now,
with passion.
So sad. Yes,
passion. That's right.
Yes, it's so sad to say that it has. 2006, it was bad, but now it's worse than
yes,
ever.
It is.
But I do want to just turn over to Iris. And Iris, what did I miss out?
Nothing, Jackie. I thought you brought her quite up to date. The sad part about our support program, and I'm sorry I can't get the video, is
that's okay, darling.
It's that we are unfortunate enough to have every month 2 or 3 more parents, and there's probably more in the city who's lost children that has joined our group. There may be it could be closer to 70-something people in the last, I would say, almost 17 years and more, and counting. Some people who are still coming and some people who have dropped off, but we still are there with open arms to have anybody who's willing, who wants to have the support that we offer. And we offer all kinds of support. We, as Jackie calls us, the moving on group. Moving on group, because we're trying to move on. We can't move on but so far, but we try to help. We try to help each other deal with our deaths and try to comfort each other and show each other there is a way to grieve without dying yourself. And some of the mothers actually want to die. And we feel that at every monthly meeting.
Wow. This is so needed. I started Mothers here in 1990 after the police beat my kids up. And then in 1999, I started another group called, it was called Breaking the Silence on Black Crime. It was called the Silent War Campaign. And it was about how we harm one another. And at that time, Black politicians did not want to talk about Black on Black crime. They just wanted to they only talk about police issues, rightfully so. I mean, these are two righteous issues, police brutality, and then how we harm one another. And so what I've learned that you need to do them in parallel, and that's what you're doing. You're doing it in parallel. I think the new movement has to be parallel. We can no longer let people say Black Lives Matter on one end of the equation, and Black mothers are crying over the other side of the equation, and those same people are not out there supporting them. They want to throw rocks and all the stuff that they do. I mean, defund the police, all of that. But when it's the mothers, because here in Seattle last year, and then a couple of years, and then gone on, we've had 81. I mean, that's 81 mothers crying. I call them weeping Black mothers. And who cares about weeping Black mothers? And I'm in this club. I had a son who passed away 2005. He had an illness. He was my oldest son, Hiram. He always liked me to call his name. So I always do. But and that's what you're doing. You're doing both, and you're talking. You got police there. We know that people know, and I saw your video. People always know who committed the crime, and that's the shame on us that we got murderers at the bus stop. We got rapists and people who've harmed us in the grocery store, and people are silent. So I watched one of your videos. I'm going to post them from time to time whenever I can to let people know that you are just doing wonderful work, and I'm just happy to hear this, and because it's going to take a lot to turn this around. Right. Our community has lived up under a culture of death for 30 years. Started back in the late 80s up to the 90s, all the way up to now. It's a culture of death, and you have children or grandchildren who've never known the other world. I mean, you and I might know a different world, but some of our grandchildren don't know a different world because that's all they've seen,
I am so glad you said that. And we did have that conversation when you called me. I'm so proud of you. You know why I'm proud of you? Besides inviting us on, I'm proud of you because you are saying what we fight for and say every day. Do you know how many people, when I get up to speak, when I see Denise is on, when Denise get up and speak, when Iris get up to speak, and we say, we are sick and tired of this Black on Black crime. Do you know how many people jump into their defense? I said, but we killing each other. And stop sweeping it under the rug. Because we got to call. Yes, the police have did their share of killing us, but we are outdoing the police now.
That's right.
And then we talk about the Black Lives Matter. Our lives, our Black Lives Matter.
That's
and
right.
You are saying it, singing it, and shouting it all the way in Florida. I can't wait to come out there.
Yeah, I'm in Seattle. I was raised in Florida, but I live in Seattle. I'm in Seattle now.
In Seattle, wherever.
Yes. Well, we'd love to have you come out here. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
But we got to find us a sponsor. So we'll find out. But let me say this. I I keep saying I'm proud of you because you are not scared. People got to stop being scared, and people have to take ownership of what's really going on in order to save our kids.
But one of the things too, Jackie, is that we are the only people happy when they put a black baby in our arms. We think it's beautiful. The world might not think it's beautiful. Yes. But we do. We bring these babies home. I mean, it's like, that's oh right. My God, here they are. I'm just so happy to have it. Let's take a break though and come back and let's take a break and come back and have some of the other mothers. I want you to stay as long as you can. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150. We'll be right back.
Okay, and then I want Denise to say something.
Okay.
Market Street Shoes is happy to sponsor the Mother's Justice Show in honor of our mother, Jackie Higgins Rosebrook, who spent her life fighting for social justice, and also in honor of all mothers who fight for social justice. Market Street Shoes, fashionable footwear and apparel for life's everyday adventures, in the heart of Ballard since 2006. Visit marketstreetshoes.com.
COVID-19 is a severe lung infection. Trust the American Lung Association for science-based public health information, especially for the 36 million Americans who live with lung disease. We have resources to protect your lung health. Access expertise from medical professionals and peer-to-peer support through our online communities. Visit lung.org for daily updates or call 1-800-LUNG-USA.
You found us. Maybe you've been guided to listen. Alternative Talk 1150.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. I'm so grateful to be on the air. Thank you so much to Marketplace Shoes, supporting Mothers for Police Accountability. And so I want to bring my guest on. We got 3 on it this time. So we're going to bring on Jackie. She's the co-founder of Harlem Mothers Saved, and she's going to introduce some of the other mothers that she has with us. All right, welcome back, Jackie, and the other mothers. How you doing?
Well. Okay, good. Again, I just want to thank you again for this wonderful opportunity. But Harriet, I want to introduce one of the other moms, Denise, and Denise had a loss, and right. Denise has been one of our staunch supporters and growth in Harlem Mothers and Fathers Saved. And when I tell you the pain for all of us is so bad, but that's why we call it the Moving Forward Group. So I'll let Denise tell you her story and how Harlem Mothers have been a support to her. Denise?
Well, welcome, Denise, and I want to let you know that I'm sorry. I want to always offer you my condolence and let you know that I'm sorry for your loss, for your loved one. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you, and good evening, all. Jackie is right. I joined Harlem Mothers Save maybe less than a year after my son was murdered. And thank God for Harlem Mothers Save, because it saved me as well. Because of the group, I can come and don't be ashamed to shed a tear, or don't have to hide behind closed doors to grieve. We laugh together, we grieve together, we cry together, and it's just a blessing. It's sorrowful that you have to meet people this way and form a family, because we became a family. It's just awful that we have to form families like this. And I pray to God that this group doesn't grow, but as of lately, it has grown. Part of our problem is the breakdown in the family. As I see it, there is a breakdown in the family, and we need to get our kids back.
Yes.
I often say that there's no way that these kids can know who God is, because if they knew who God is, they wouldn't do half the things they do. So we need to find a way to bring our young people back to God. They need to understand that the pain they cause is not to the person that they murdered. It's to those who are left behind. And 9 times out of 10, you don't know those people from a can of paint. So it's over for that person, but it's just beginning for the family.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. Wow. Wow, Denise. Like I say, just to listen to you and to understand what it is to go through this. And I also have a ministry of presence. I am an ordained minister, so I do have a ministry of presence. And I do believe that that one of the things that's missing, one of the paramount things that's missing in the Black community is that 30 years ago, a lot of the people walked away from the churches and they didn't raise their children. One thing about raising your children with some spiritual reality, I mean, in the community, I mean, I'm not talking about individual mothers, I'm talking about what happened. But you're so correct, because I just wanted to honor you and let you know that your words resonated with me as a mother of 4. Like I say, one is I lost a son, but it resonates with me because our ancestors suffered so much for us to be here right now. And we owe our ancestors a debt. We owe them something.
Yes.
We owe them something to understand the degradation that they went through. So they would have a tree planted on this side of the river. We are that tree.
Yes.
That they planted on this side of the river. And I appreciate you. And like I say, I'm glad that you have some place to get some nourishment from, because that's, we're people who need to be nourished. Okay.
Yes.
We're still Africans. I don't care how long we've been gone from Africa. We're still Africans. And what we need is community. We're the people who will stop somebody in the streets and stop traffic to say, hello, I ain't seen you in a while. How's your family? This is who we are. And we're trying to act outside our nature. Our nature is that we are family. I grew up calling everybody cousins and stuff like that. So we have to go back to what our nature is. And our nature is natural community. We didn't come out the caves anywhere. We came from Africa.
Yes. And so that's what we lost as well.
That's right.
It used to be a village. That village raised those children.
That's
we
right.
no longer have that village. That village is gone. And we need that village back. You couldn't do anything in the community without someone knowing your mama.
That's right.
And will tell you. They would chastise you, then your mother would chastise you.
Exactly.
So
you're right.
all that is gone.
Well, then that's what you all are creating. Because one thing about women, what I love about us, we'll get together and bring somebody bring a scrap and somebody's bring a scrap. Before you know, you got a quilt. So you're making a quilt.
Yes.
With all of these different the people and passing on, you're making a quilt tapestry of reconnecting and not forgetting one another, and the children knowing that they had value. That's right, because we have to always remember that these children was loved and have value, and no matter how society wants to think who we are, and how continue that to take us down. What you're doing is so wonderful, Miss Denise. I'm so glad that you have a group to be associated with. God bless you. I'm
so glad with you. I'm so glad. And Reverend, let me tell you, you look like you could really preach, So
well, I'm more of a teacher than a preacher. I'm more of a teacher than
you
a
look
preacher.
Like,
I'm a good teacher.
You need to tell these churches.
History is my Bible, okay? Because I want to teach history. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Pastor, you look like, listen, you need to come to New York and tell these churches. And thank you, Denise, because you said it. You said a lot.
Yes, ma'am. She did.
Dealing with
Yes.
We need to get these
Jackie,
churches.
to chime in before you say your piece. In order to chime in with what Denise said, because it resonated with me, thinking that my mother was the Christian leader in the church. She ran the Sunday school and the youth programs for over almost close to 30 years. My children, all 5 of them, grew up in the church. They sang in the choir. They participated in all the school plays, the Sunday school plays, anything having to do. We were there for Martin Luther King's birthday, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day. And I'm thinking back to what Denise said about the breakdown in the family. The boy, or the man rather, that killed my son was in jail, came out, asked my son for help because he needed to get back on his feet. My son provided that help, but that help wasn't enough. Not a month later, he comes back, has somebody with him with a gun, puts 2 bullets in his head because he didn't want to ask for the help again. He just wanted to take it. So there had to be some kind of breaking. He couldn't have had a family that went to church or believed in God, believed in anything. But this is the way some children are being raised, unfortunately.
Yes.
And we have to spend a lot of time looking at what's going on in our children's lives to determine in which way they're going so we can stop that cycle.
Yeah.
That's what you all are doing. I mean, you just don't know the joy I have today. I mean, you know, they say when you're happy and you know it. We used to tell the children, when your face will truly show it. So I'm just so happy that I'm not happy for the events, but you know, you never know how Creator brings us together. I mean, we don't know the circumstances, but our lives was, is being guided by Creator. So I'm just, and I know what it takes to do something. I've been doing something for 30 years, 32 years. I know what it takes. And I know what it takes sometimes when you're out there by yourself and you might not have, because like I say, in 1999, we had 3 people killed, 3 generations of people killed in Seattle. And they were Black, and the community was silent. If the police had to kill 6 people in 2 weeks in Seattle, they'd still been talking about it today. And the silence out of that drove me to start the Silent War campaign. How could we silent? I mean, silent. And I knew the person also, and I knew her and her children and stuff. So, so for us not to be silent, to say this is not right. This is a learned behavior. And we can learn something else. I mean, we can be, we're great people. I mean, and that's what keeps you going, is because you look at your greatness, you think about your grandmother, where you come from. And just like Iris was talking about her mother in the church. And this is our great stories that we have to continue to tell, our great stories that we come from, and be able to lift up our children. I'm so hopeful when I hear you all and see you all. I'm hopeful that, so wow, it is not impossible to turn this around, because women are on the job. I mean, women are on the job. It's like, wow.
Strong women, strong Black women.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, well, the earth, the mother of creation is a Black woman. I mean, Eve, the people don't want to talk about her. They talk bad about Black women. But
Eve was a Black woman.
The whole civilization started with us, and of course started with the Black woman. So hey,
that's right.
It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to save our children. And, and then I was doing some work with people in New York. I mean, especially around Puerto Rico. I have friends who live there from Puerto Rico, and I had them on my show to talk about stuff. But I also had people on my show to talk about COVID, because New York took a hit on COVID, and Black people took a hit on COVID. And I had a campaign I was trying to do to study how many Black people was turned away from these hospitals, but my money wasn't long enough to be able to do the study. But we'll witness what is happening.
Can I say something?
People. Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead, Ms.
If they were turned away from the hospitals and they survived, they need to thank God, because those who were in the hospital, they just pushed them to the side and let them die. So, I'm a survivor of COVID. Jackie also is a survivor of COVID.
I was praying. I mean, what kept me up at night and kept me praying was for my people to live through this, to be the living witness that one of the greatest events that's happened in our lifetime, we didn't get the care that we needed. I had people on from Florida, all over America, because I want to be, it's like, wow, we've seen this, 100 years ago, and now here it is again. So I'm glad. And so I followed New York, because I know that a lot of times the people didn't get to say goodbye. I mean, I studied this because I had a business that served homebound elderly people. So I was concerned about the care of elderly people. So I'm so glad that you survived.
Our elderly people suffered, particularly those ones that was in nursing homes.
Yes, ma'am.
The numbers were great, where they were just cataloged. They weren't helped. They were just put in an area and just left to die. And,
that's
and
right.
They didn't report the deaths. There was just too many reports.
That's what bothered me. That was bothered me, sister.
No family, no relatives, nobody knew.
Yes, that's right. And that's the story too that we as mothers have to. Go ahead, Miss Jackie. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of these murders and violence came with that COVID, because everybody was bunched up in the house. We couldn't get out. They were angry. A lot of mental illness came out that people don't even pay attention to.
That's right.
And that had a lot to do with this COVID.
And the loss of jobs.
Yes. And so we got to know each other and found out we didn't like each other. So,
yes, ma'am, that's right.
They start fighting and killing and stabbing each other. And they blame a lot of these murders and stuff on COVID. I don't blame it all on COVID, but I do blame it on mental illness being swept under the rug.
That's right. That's right.
That is definitely not being paid attention. But what I was going to say is you need to come to New York and tell some of these churches to open their doors, because a lot of these churches do not open their doors and create these programs to take these kids off the street. That's why a lot of violence is in the street.
And the churches should be on the street. That's where the ministry really should be.
And they need to do outreach. We got very few churches that's feeding and helping these kids. You have the niche church that's doing an excellent job in Harlem, feeding the hungry. You have people that had jobs and still have jobs that's still hungry. A lot of this have to do with violence. And this is what I want to say, Pastor Dr. Reverend Walden. Am I saying your last name right?
Walden, no, that's fine. Walden, yes, ma'am.
Yes, Walden. Let me say this. I want the moms and I want the families to know that have had a loss, whether it's gun, stab, loss, child, or loved one, that one of the things our support group provides is to let you know you're not alone, whether we're in New York or not. We want you to know we here and that you're not alone and that you can do it. You'll never get over it. You'll never get over it. But you will learn how to move forward. And if you have other kids, do not make the mistake of not focusing on them. Because you have to live for your other children.
That's so true. That's so true. Mm-hmm. What happened to Adam Clayton Powell? He used to, I know he passed away, but he had a church that he used to go to out in Harlem. I mean, that was years and years ago.
Abyssinia.
Yes, ma'am. Is it still there?
Abyssinia Church is still there, but they don't get out there and do outreach. They're very, a great pastor, Reverend Butts. Now they're trying to, reach to young people, but they're not the ones to open the doors for programs for these young people. They're not doing it, but they're doing an awful lot of other things. But let's be honest. You got churches that are just sitting there closed. The doors are closed. At least Abyssinia is open. The doors are closed and the kids, the space there that they could create programs and bring these kids in. Then you have churches that only deal with their congregation.
Yeah.
And they don't.
True.
Yes. You would, what you call it, nepotism. So one of the things that we as an organization is very adamant about is talking to these pastors, involving clergy. Because when we have events, as you're seeing, we are definitely pro-police. We work closely with the police because we need the police. We need the police to tell us who is out there with these guns. The police know a lot of stuff, but the community have to speak up. And the community have to stop fighting the police and understand we have some bad police and we have some good police, but we got to police ourselves. See,
That's
my
right.
message is we have to take back our kids and take back our community
That's right.
ourselves.
That's right.
And
That's
until
right.
we do that, until we do that, things might change. But stop acting like, no, not my child, because yes, your child.
That's
You
right.
got to know
That's right.
who your child is with. You
That's
got
right.
to
They
know.
don't know. A
You
lot
got
of
to
people are
look
afraid of
under
their
your
children.
mattress. You got to check your house.
They got to
You
raid
got-
those bedrooms. You got to raid those bedrooms. That's what I
That's
call it.
right.
Raid those bedrooms.
That's
You
right.
got to know what's up in there. If they got
That's
something in
right.
their house, that you need to know about it. Okay.
That's
And
right.
we need to stop. They need to stop accepting money from their children when they know their kids don't have a job.
Thank
Okay?
you.
And smoking weed with them. And smoking
That's
weed.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I am not my children's friends.
We need a criteria for Black parenting. Okay, we're not talking about nobody else because we know
That's
we
right.
come from something. The reason why we're standing today because somebody put something in us. Okay,
That's right.
That's why we're still standing today.
My mother used to say, I am not your friend. I'm your
That's
mother.
what I told my kids too. I'm not your friend. You didn't grow up listening to my music. Okay, I
Yeah.
grew up with Motown. No, you're not my friend. Okay, I don't
That's
need you
it.
to be my friend.
Motown, you're
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, they listening to
I'm not, you're not my friend.
You are not my friend, okay?
Mhm.
You're not my contemporary. You're not. No. And I was adamant about it. And it's okay. And and single mothers need to stop putting these boys in, say that they're my man. They're not your man. They're your son.
Sons.
They're not in charge of the house. They're
Thank
not
you.
bringing in nothing. And so stop that
Thank
foolishness.
you.
That's my little man. No, he's not your little man. It's your son.
Thank you.
And
I
raise
tell,
him as a son to be
thank you.
respected. And respect you. See, I mean, I'm from the old school, so what can I
Me
say?
too.
I
We all are. We are old school parents.
I used
got
to
be
tell,
one of those old people now. I got to be. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the old
Thank
people.
you.
I got to be one of the old people.
Thank God.
Yes,
I would
we
tell
all
my,
did. We all did. We got to be one of the old people.
yes. I would tell my kids, they would say, well, this is my room. No, this is not your
it's not
room.
your room.
You are
This
not
is
paying.
my house. I'm
That's
just
my
letting
room.
you stay here.
That's it. And
So-
I had a
if
son
you
who
don't know
didn't
how
like
to act,
onions.
you're gonna have to leave here.
Thank you.
I had a son who didn't like onions, so he would pick out everything because I love onions. He said, when I get my house, I'm not going to ever cook onions. I say, fine. But as long as I got my house,
I'm going to cook onions.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I just, I just can't wait to come to New York and say, this is so fine. This is so
That's
fine.
not
We got about 3.5 more minutes here. So just kind of let's kind of go back over it and tell, I mean, I see your videos. And so what gives you all the strength to keep going? That's what people always ask me. I'm speaking about that on Wednesday, talking about activism and spirituality and what keeps you going. Well, I want to hear you. What keeps you all going?
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than the Holy Spirit that's in us and around us, we have a lot of people who came before us that help us. We have our grandparents, so we do have strength within ourselves, but I have to give credit to where it's due. Jackie Rowe Adams has the strength of many, 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 many men, women, and children. She has been stalwart to the cause of, and she lost 2 children, not one, but 2 of her sons were murdered.
Wow, bless your heart, Jackie.
Yeah, and yet she's there every month and throughout the month working toward, every day.
Every day.
Because Denise is there every day with her. But working towards keeping our support group together, making sure it's still relevant, making sure people around the country, around the city, around the world know that we exist and pray that nobody else has to join. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, that we can't help that. When a child is called home, even by murder, that we have a parent that comes in to grieve, and we got to support them. But Jackie is the person who is the one who keeps us strong, keeps us going, motivates us to continue the kind of work that has to be done. And that's what we're trying to do right now.
That's great love. All right, Denise, and we will let Jackie have the last word here. We got a few more minutes.
That was Iris.
Iris, okay.
Denise.
All right, so Denise.
Yes.
You want to come on in there now?
Only by the grace of God that I am still standing. And I thank God for his grace and his mercy. We don't know why things happen. And I thank God that he gave me beauty for ashes. I thank God for Harlem Mothers Save. Jackie often say, turn, how did you say it again? In victory, pain into victory, into victory. And a great leader, Jackie is, work you to death for the cause.
I knew she was going to say it.
But God bless her. And I just pray that God continuously bless her and strengthen her. Because this is not an easy job.
No, it's not. It's easy. It's not an easy job. Thank you so much.
It is not.
Well, Jackie, we got about a minute now, so we're gonna we'll let you take us out.
So what keeps me going besides God, to God be the glory for the great things he have done. But you heard Denise, you heard Iris. Thank God for them. Because you know what? They keep me going. They make me feel that I am somebody that they need.
Amen.
And let me tell you, it is so many others out there. If it wasn't for our group, some of them would have committed suicide.
Yes, ma'am.
Going. I hurt every day when we hear that another mother, another father, another family lost their kids. But then I also stand strong and say, you know what? We can't bring back our kids, but we could certainly help another mother, another family from feeling the pain and hurt that we feel. I feel like I am so much needed. I was just saying that. And that's why when I had the COVID, I should have been going out of here. I had it very bad, 2 lungs pneumonia. I should have been going, but he wasn't finished with me yet.
That's right.
And let me tell you, like Denise say, oh God, thank you, Denise, thank you, Iris, because we work. This is not easy. You get all kind of calls. In order to keep the group, you're dealing with so many personalities. And I'm telling you, it's not easy, but we need to be the voice for the voices. We need to let people know they're not alone. We need to let people know we hurt too. Your kids hurt too. And we have a wonderful a bereavement counselor, a psychologist, to do and work with a lot of these parents. So
this is good. We're gonna have to.
And that's what keep me going. My 2 kids that's still living keep me going.
That's right. Well, you know, God bless you all. And our time is just about ended here. But we will have you back on again. This is not the end of this show. It's not the end of our relationship. It's the end of the show for the day. And I want to thank Harlem Mothers Save, Harlem Mothers and Fathers Save, and moving forward. I mean, I thank you. God bless your work, and we'll stay in touch. You've been listening to the Mother's Justice Show at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. I will talk to you next week. All right, take care.